Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the Kehillat Shari Torah Halacha review for Wednesday, January 6th. We've been talking about waiting 6 hours between eating meat and eating dairy foods. So a question comes up, what is permitted during those 6 hours of waiting? So a person could get hungry. So what are you supposed to eat? What are you supposed to do in between? One who ate meat may swallow a milk pill while waiting the 6 hours. A person who has some kind of a medication that has a dairy base to it or dairy contents to it. We usually say that when you're swallowing something whole, like a pill, medication, it's not considered derech achila, it's not the way of eating, so that's not included in the prohibition. It's permitted to taste milk and spit it out right away. If you want to know if some milk is sour, you're going to serve to guests or something, you can taste it as long as you spit it out, you're not ingesting it. And one is allowed to drink parve milk, many different kinds of parve milk products, milk substitutes on the market today, soy and rice and oat, and all those different things. You're allowed to drink parve milk after eating meat. No concern nowadays of maris ayin, says in Shulchan Aruch, Badei HaShulchan, Madani HaShulchan, Yechav Das, and others. Previously, in earlier phases in Jewish history, artificial milk, almond milk, for example, was considered to be something that you should make note. People were not accustomed to it. Even in our lifetimes, non-dairy creamer was a little bit of an innovation. So the caterers the mashgichim, the kosher supervising agencies, required the caterers to serve non-dairy creamer at a simcha, at a wedding, a bar mitzvah, whatever it was, in the carton so people would know that it was actually non-dairy. Nowadays you'll see they bring it around in pitchers because everybody's so used to that idea. No one suspects that they might be serving milk after a meat meal. If one forgot and made a bracha on dairy food, you should take a bite of the food in order to avoid a bracha levatala, saying a bracha for no reason. Others of the opinion this is only permitted if an hour has passed since the meat was eaten. Some suggest it's possible you could take a par food on the table so the bracha will apply to that food. Others say you should take a bite of the food and then spit it out. That way there's no bracha levatala, but you're still not eating the food. A little bit of a technical situation there, but there you have it. One who's waiting 6 hours may sit next to someone who's eating dairy. No concern that you might eat the dairy, as long as you're not eating a meal yourself. We did speak about having a sign, an indicator, a reminder on the table in a previous discussion. One who's waiting 6 hours may prepare dairy food. If you have the habit of tasting food while preparing it, you should not cook dairy food while waiting for the 6 hours to complete. One is allowed to smell dairy food while waiting 6 hours because we're not concerned that you might eat it. And one may eat a par of food cooked in a milk pot that was recently, in other words, within the last 24 hours, used for cooking milk. If the pot was not cleaned well before the par of food was cooked in it, one should not eat the food. And one who is eating par of foods is allowed to drink from a dairy cup that was washed out well. We have one more topic to go, so we'll cover tomorrow what's not allowed during these 6 hours. Please join us then. Have a nice day.